Hey, what's up guys? Chillix, welcome back to Kagetsu Tohya. I don't know why my voice is being weird. Last time we went through the Crimson Moon side story, which was really interesting. We got a lot of, not a lot, we got some more detail about, like what's going on with Arkwin and the whole, like, okay, so Crimson Moon's her dad, but also her, sort of, and then we got some perspective on Roa and yada yada yada. But anyway, today, as the title says, I'm gonna be doing the Nanako-Chan SOS side story. But first, let's do this daily message. System Manager's novel recommendation of the day: The Caves of Steel by Isaac Asimov. I've heard of Isaac Asimov, but I've never heard of that specific book. I actually don't. I don't remember which books of it. I don't know. I recognize the name. I just don't remember actual like novels of his. That's weird. I don't know. Hey Gogeta. Alright, 10 Nights of Dream, Nanako-Chan, SOS. Okay, just jumping right into it. That day, the weather was the worst. The rain began before I went home, just as I was hoping that it wouldn't. Yeah, that's how it always happens, huh? Hope something doesn't happen, and then it happens at the worst possible time. And by the time I started heading home, it was pouring. On the road while running home, I could see that the river I always passed by was overflowing. Thinking, this is a complete typhoon, I ran across the bridge. But right then, I spotted something coming down the river from upstream. Oh? The piece of junk caught my fancy as a collector, so I swam into the swollen river and retrieved it. Since I picked it up, it's now definitely mine. It's from Arihiko's perspective. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Because this is about Nanako, and when we see her in the main story, she's in Arihiko's room, so I was like, yeah, makes sense. After I got home, I cleaned up that piece of junk and put it in my room. After that, I took a bath to wash my drenched body and then went straight to bed. It must have been partly because that piece of junk I brought home was stupidly heavy. As tired as if I had worked at a construction site for 3 days straight, I fell asleep immediately. Then, for some reason, I unwittingly dreamt about something that happened a long time ago. Memory of him and Shiki? Well, no, they're in... Okay, they're supposed to be their middle school classroom. Because they met in middle school, right? I think. 6th grade. Or did they meet in elementary? I don't remember, actually. Looks like there's no one apart from you worthy of becoming my rival. I cut off a piece of mince for an elementary... okay, yeah, it is elementary school. Student the same age as me, not even 10 years old, and gave it to him. Oh, mince? I assume that means mince meat? That's right, if it's elementary school, the fact that this classroom is visible is evidence enough. Okay. Anyway, it's hard to remember the school I used to go to as a kid, so let's leave it at that. It seemed that this kid didn't think anything of me, who was standing before him. It wasn't that he was ignoring me. He was looking at me as if I was merely a part of the scenery. That's a bit rude. It made me angry, so I ate his pudding. Wow, you don't mess with another person's pudding. That's fucked up. That was definitely mealtime. On top of that, it was the one day a month when we got pudding. Humph. I showed him a smug smile. Even so, he remained silent, and, as if uninterested, began eating his meal. This guy... I was completely pissed. After that, a fist fight broke out. You don't just fight someone over being ignored. Well, we were restrained by the teacher and we were both scolded, but in its own way. It felt good for me, so I was happy. Okay. Because that kid who attacked me with that calm face was, as I had predicted, the same kind as I. What do you mean by that? Anyway, having taken 4 hits to the stomach, many to the face, even to the back and sides, and a decisive hit on the knee, all the way to the end, that kid did not make a sound. Okay, that's pretty impressive. Well, as I thought, he was someone who was broken. Ooh. Are we gonna get some Arihiko lore? That kid who didn't speak from beginning to end, and who was so calm as to make you angry, is called Tonoshiki. Uh-huh. I'll say it for the record, but my name is Inui Arihiko. This was my first encounter with the guy to whom I would become ridiculously close. Hell of a way to start off a friendship. But what is this? Why am I the lead this time around? This is a good question. That's right. This time Arihiko-san's the lead. I see. Lucky. Do you think I'll say that and just let the slide? I mean, maybe. What is this? This tone that I can't distinguish whether it's happy or gloomy? Hoo-hoo-hoo. You'll enjoy it when you read it. Well, pay 1 year of your lifetime in return. Excuse you? Ah. For some reason, I feel like a horrible headache is about to come. No. Oh, she gets her own little intro. Okay. In the evening, at the blindingly bright riverbank, we engaged in fisticuffs. Okay. It wasn't because I hated him, but rather because I was so unhappy with myself that I wanted to train someone similar to myself by hitting him again and again. That's Arihiko. You can't just train. Okay, whatever. It was the same with him, so without reason, we hit each other until we were satisfied. Okay, sure. Although in the end, both of us got to the point where we couldn't take even one step, so it became a double knockout. Then I think we lay in the grass while complaining. My tooth fell out, or I think I'm gonna throw up. Of course, even though we beat each other up until we were satisfied, my dissatisfaction with myself hadn't gone away. But whatever, I was still relieved. I knew that dissatisfaction with oneself was something that would never went away, and I was satisfied enough with knowing that there was another fool just like me. Plus, I was glad that the kid who was usually cold was still very much like a child. I can't quite recall what we said to each other then. It must definitely have been petty and boring things that elementary school kids talked about. That conversation that isn't even worth remembering was only worth something back then. Okay. But... still, the last thing we said is a memory that has remained deep in my heart. I don't know why the conversation went that way, but we started to talk about death. What we would think about in that final moment on the deathbed. That was the topic of our unchildlike conversation. Why are 11-year-olds, or 10-year-olds, sorry, talking about what their deathbed words are gonna be? That's kind of a weird thing to think about. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess for Shiki, not... well, actually, no. I don't know about Arihiko, but I guess that actually makes sense for Shiki. With how close he was to death as a child. That may actually make sense. Did Shiki engage in a fist fight with or... I would think with, because if he went without, right? Depending on how long his nails are, those could count as a, like, blade, and he could accidentally cut Arihiko. So I would, not to mention, he for the longest time, always adhered to what Aliko told him to like never take them off. So I assume he fought with them on. I like so think so. I've already chosen that. When I die, I definitely have to apologize. I don't know who's talking between the two. I have to politely lower my head and say, everyone, I'm sorry for everything up to now. Okay, but why are you apologizing now? Yes, he said and nodded. Okay, no, that was Arihiko. That was Arihiko talking. Looking at the riverbank with a face that seemed to say this kid understands. Maybe I'll say, thank you, everyone. I'm thankful for everything up to now. Like that. So the opposite. I'm sorry and then thank you, he said with such a happy expression. Then I realized it. That this kid, who I thought was a lot like me, was in fact unbelievably stupid. The difference between us is extremely small. It's such a little amount, like 2 hands on the clock off by just an hour. There's no need to even acknowledge such a small difference. However, that's why I realized it. That this kid who could say something like thank you at the moment of death was someone I could never defeat. The moment I rejoiced that this rival, whom I didn't like, had turned around completely and had become a friend, this kid had come to realize that we were rivals. That was such an extreme betrayal that I obviously resented it. Even so, I was laughing. This unfairness, or this irrational violence, or the fact that this kid, who was like a piece of the world's spite and pain, said something like that were unbearably joyful things. Alright. So I laughed. In front of the river sparkling due to the evening, I grabbed my stomach, still hurting from the fight, and laughed loudly. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Bye, I guess. Okay, so we got some... Yeah, I guess Shiki and Arihiko friendship lore. Here is a single house. The location is one corner of the residential district. 20 minutes to walk to the train station, and just a minor non-governmental station at that. In addition, with not even one convenience store nearby, it is truly an inconvenient place to live. Even so, this is my home, and the fact that I've had no complaints after moving here almost 8 years ago shows that humans are tough creatures. What, are you extremely loud? On the nameplate is, I assume, Inui? This reads Inui. It's a pretty common last name, so there's no house besides ours in this residential area with a nameplate that says Inui. Oh, pretty uncommon. I read it as common, I think. Arrived. I skipped school this morning, and with nothing to do, I came back home. First of all, because I'm someone who lives in this house. Okay. Last name's Inui. First name's Arihiko. Since I'm a male, Arihiko seems like a simply chosen name. Is that like some pun? Let's see, Arihiko. Meaning, okay. So that's the kanji for existence? And that's a kanji for a young man of superior talent and virtue. Okay. Fascinating. My older sister's name is Ichigo. Just as simply, I don't even need to explain its origin. Okay. I'm not even gonna bother looking that one up. I don't know whether that's simple or exciting, but my parents both died a long time ago in an accident, so there are no others in the Inui household apart from my older sister and me. That's depressing. Since the two of us were left alone about 8 years ago, Inui Arihiko grew up as an orphan during the ages most sensitive to influence. However, my older sister, who should have replaced my parents, was an idiot whose life skills did not surpass mine. Maybe she felt something from our parents' deaths, but my older sister showed off stupidity greater than mine by doing whatever she liked. And since I grew up by myself, doing whatever I liked as well. I've become a great delinquent by now. Okay, that makes sense. So today I again only showed up when necessary and quickly escaped the school. If I had any regret, it would be that I failed in convincing a first-year girl to come out with me. Okay. This doesn't seem to end. These days, my situation with the girls isn't so good. Since the girls suddenly exploded around that guy who didn't have any girls up until now, I've been constantly failing. Damn you, Shiki! Well, in this kind of situation, the best thing to do is to sleep for a bit and then go out to the streets. So, for now, I should go back home. But I'll say it now, but Inui Arihiko has zero inspiration. Having lived for 10-something years, I have never seen the demon, a fact that I can confidently affirm. But my right hand holding the kitchen knife hurts. It's an injury I got by cutting my hand on that piece of junk I brought home that rainy day. That cut, which used to bleed so magnificently, has healed quite a bit, so I only have a band-aid on it right now. I take off the piece of paper attached to the corkboard. When my older sister is home, no noise is allowed, and begin to cook. Really, that Ichigo? If she's home, she should at least make some rice. Just like me, my older sister is always away from home. She's home right now, but when she comes home, she always locks herself in her room and doesn't come out. With an older sister like that, I can't expect her to make food, so I decided to prepare some. Even so, the only things I can make are fried rice with kimchi in it, and fried rice with every ingredient in it. By every ingredient, do you just mean like what's in your fridge, or is in fried rice with anything you would expect to be in fried rice? Huh? What is this? When I opened the refrigerator, the situation inside was so different from yesterday that I tilted my head. Over half of all those vegetables I had bought had disappeared. It would be a rare event, but my older sister might have made something. Might have, yeah. What is this? If you're gonna cook, at least leave some for me too. Cooking for one and cooking for two. The amount of work is no different, I mutter as I make vegetable fried rice and put it in my stomach. That's it. Lunch is complete. Enjoying the fullness, I head towards my room. Where you're gonna receive quite the shock, I assume. Russell. I only realized I heard a noise once I had climbed the stairs and arrived in front of my room. Russell? Nah. Choo. Gulp. Before I could be surprised, I hardened my mind. The sound coming from my room is obviously that of someone looking for something. I don't know about others, but Inui Arihiko didn't grow up to panic in a situation like this. Trying to steal from my room. This guy's got guts. Smiling broadly and without hesitation, I opened the door. You know, we saw it once as Shiki, but I can't get over how absurd she like, why does she have, like, horse hoof, like, sleeves on? Oh, so he said vegetables, right? Why does she... Was it all carrots? Or did she only take the carrots? Like, what? There's something strange there. Eh? I closed the door. What? What? What was that just now? Wait just a second. Could my eyes be playing tricks on me? No, I don't think so. For some reason, I feel like I saw something I shouldn't have seen. Yeah. Calm down. Alright, I'm tired right now. I'm really tired. After all, this is my second consecutive day being awake. And I don't have enough calcium. Yeah, that's what it is. Plus, these days, my luck with women is horrible. That's right, since I'm this tired, it's not strange to see a hallucination once in a while. Uh-huh. Okay, that's what it is. In that case, everything's okay. I didn't see anything just now. See, even that noise was coming from the room is gone. Or the noise that was coming from the room. Munch. Bite. Chew. Hey, why are you starting again, you brat?
Yes? What is it?
This mysterious creature raises its head in surprise. I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that someone who had clearly illegally broken in was sitting there and looking calm. Okay, I'm guessing the thing he dragged in from the river was Nanako. As to how Nanako and whatever he dragged in are the same thing, I'ma go with magic of some sort. What are you doing, you punk? Also, hang on, let me display image. Okay.
Wait, would you like to come in?
It's his room. It tilts its head like a pigeon. Ah. For some reason, that calm look gets my blood boiling. It's Sheik Gill over again. What are you talking about? Would you like to come in? Being a burglar, you have the audacity to be so calm. I stretched out my arm to grab its collar, but my hand hit the straw mat instead. Oh, she dodge? Ah. The sound of my face going pale. Oh! My arm had completely gone through this creature before my eyes. Okay, so she doesn't have a physical form. But then how is she eating? If you're not physical, how are you... The word ghost just wouldn't come out of my mouth. So I just waved my hands around to verify that this person was indeed like a hologram. The one who was stealing and eating someone else's carrots. Those are definitely the carrots I had bought.
Oh, I was wondering who it was, but it's just you. Then hello, master.
What? You... Nanako question mark? You don't just say that. Like, With a smiling face, it said those words that might make me faint. Is he just backing away? Okay, no, okay. Let's get a hold of the situation. This creature that suddenly appeared for no reason in my room was a cult. Yes. I don't know if it's a ghost or a wraith, but since it said I'm a spirit, it must be a type of spirit. Yeah, no, assuming it's not lying, it's a fair, so yeah, it's a fair deduction. Even though it literally just told you, but okay. If I look closely, it has a tail, and its hands and feet couldn't possibly be those of a human, so it might be the spirit of an animal that looks mostly human aside from the ears and hands/feet. Yeah. Why something like that is taking the shape of a human, that of a girl even, if someone asked me that, I'd be stuck. So now, the identity of this occult thing in front of the absent-minded Inui Arihiko who began this sad story was still a mystery. And if there was one thing I could figure out, it was... it's a talking horse. If this was an animal spirit, it was definitely the spirit of a horse. Yeah.
If that's not right, Master.
Okay, would you elaborate? That would help us out a little bit. Probably.
I'm not a horse. Okay, what are you then?
It vehemently refutes that. I threw my alarm clock at the horse's face. The alarm clock goes through the horse and hits the wall. I mean, hey, it could be a goat. Oh, don't be mean.
Whoa, that was dangerous.
The horse speaks without any sign of confusion. This is bad. This is definitely for real. Yeah, no, it probably is. Wait, wait. Does he... Is it safe to assume that he has Nanako just hiding in his house in the actual, like, waking world and not just the dream world that Kagetsu Tohya takes place in? I mean, he must do, right? Because all of these, at least I'm pretty sure all of these so far have taken place outside of the dream, so he must. So how... Ooh. You know what? I'll just, okay. Explain. Hey.
Yes, what is it, Master?
Don't kid me with your, what is it, Master? What are you talking about? I don't know why you came into someone else's house, but if you're a ghost, you should act like one and disappear now that you've been discovered by a human. What are you doing just peacefully making idle talk? Bam. I stomped on the floor. Anyway, this is a ghost. Yes. I understood, but I couldn't accept it, so I decided to get angry. Unnaturally so, even in my opinion. Oh.
Ow! So you want me to do something as bothersome as say the same thing again?
Yes. If it would clear things up, sure. The horse speaks indecisively. That's not it, you idiot. Listen, you're saying that you're a ghost that lost its master, and when you came to, you were in my room and you got hungry, so you snatched food from our kitchen. Really, am I such an idiot to talk about something like that without end for 10 or 20 minutes? I apparently. So yes, you did. Aw. Stop yelling at her.
but it seemed that this master was stupid, so I thought I would have to explain everything properly. What? You're not helping your case, Nanako. Calling him an idiot's not gonna get him on your side. Probably.
Stupid. Really, you're saying that as a horse? I forgot that even if I touched it, I would go through it and put my hands around the horse's head. I balled both of my hands into fists and applied pressure from both sides, as if I was making pickled ume plums.
Ow! It hurts, Master, it hurts.
Huh? Okay, so why can you... Okay, he couldn't touch her before, but now he can touch her. I was shocked. My left hand can touch its body. My left hand would be where I cut myself when I was gathering that piece of junk. I take my left hand off of it. So
What? Oh, I don't like that. I don't like it, so please don't do it again.
the horse rubs the right part of its head where I was pushing it. This is bad. This thing is so calm that it makes me, who is screaming, look stupid. Hey.
Really, Master's been saying just that for a while. Hey, look. Huh, for some reason that feels good.
But what? I'm sorry, what feels good? We're just not gonna... Oh, okay.
Hey, get your head on straight, Master. I got to try saying that just once.
Bam, bam. Full of energy, the horse beats my head with its hand shod with a horseshoe. Did we just get knocked out? To be honest, it really hurts. If you want to know how strong it is, it's strong enough to make me see stars. You. That hurt just now. I swallowed those words with all my might. If it realized that its light hits had hurt me that much, I don't know what kind of things it might do next. Yeah, probably best we don't find out. Well, I couldn't think that this thing could possibly be that quick-witted, but I should still be careful. Hey, horse. Oh, it went from vehemently denying being a horse to just answering to that. Okay.
Yes, what is it, Master?
Yeah, that. I have a mountain of things I want to say to you, but first, stop that.
Huh? That? What do you mean?
What I mean is that master or whatever. I'm telling you, I don't remember ever becoming the master of some talking horse. On top of that, I don't really feel like playing with an occult being like you. Bam. I once again slammed my foot on the floor with strength. Maybe pushed back by the force, the horse backed off a little and...
Whoa, Master isn't my master?
Looked at me as if truly surprised.
That's problematic. To say you don't remember, that's a breach of the contract. So Master isn't Master, eh? Then that means...
The horse falls into thought and confusion. I'm guessing when he cut himself, because blood got on whatever she was before, the thing he dragged in, and maybe like a bit of her got into his cut, maybe? That was like a contract, but he obviously didn't know that. That confused look mirrored what I had looked like just a moment ago. So watching it made me feel good, but to be honest, I couldn't be very happy. So I'm not a master or anything. and you just be a bother to me, so just treat me like an everyday person.
What?
The horse looks even more perplexed. It seems that to this thing, I can't have any status other than a master. Well, that kind of situation isn't something I would know. If you're going to be puzzled, do it somewhere else where I can't see. Be quiet. Anyway, I'm not your master or anything. I'm just a stranger with no relation, so hurry up and get out of here. I now can't shake the image of Arihiko lying on the ground, his back against the wall, and Nanako standing in front of him saying, okay. the blonde hair, it's like, oh, blonde hair, blue outfit. Someone had to have like drawn that comparison before, right? And made fan art. There's no way. there's no way someone hasn't thought of that. Hang on. Nanako. Yeah, I should, just to be safe, I probably shouldn't look for it. But and Arihiko's right. Yeah, that's that too. That's three. Only difference is very different personalities, but otherwise, yeah, that's a pretty perfect parallel. I wave my hand towards the door.
Ah, I see. Then let's do it that way,
it said. What would do what way? The horse had recovered.
Alright, if you're not my master, you're not my master. I got it. It's a special case, but from now on, I agree to call Arihiko-san just Arihiko-san. Okay.
Wait. What are you doing deciding all by yourself? Really, I don't want to ask, but tell me the context. The context!
Context? That is, from now on, I'll consider Arihiko-san as a host.
You can't just decide that yourself.
This room might be cramped and a bit drab, but as long as you keep it clean, I'll be patient.
Oh, who said you could live here? The horse, after looking around the area a bit, whispered, "Service?" What? Ugh.
I don't need any thanks. Since I'm a protective spirit, I'll stay next to Arihiko-san as much as possible. Okay?
Don't talk such nonsense. Who told you that you could live in my room?
Kya!
Roar, yeah. I scare the horse. Shivering from fear, the horse quietly flees to a corner of the room. What is this? It's a real scaredy cat. Then, with just one decisive push, I should be able to get rid of it. Hey.
Yes, I'm scared, Arihiko-san!
That's right, I'm scary. If I get angry, I'm even scarier. So get out. If you get out right now and don't show your face to me again, then I'll forgive you for the carrots you stole.
What? That is... Does that mean the contract is broken?
I'm not sure what you're talking about, but anyway, that contract is broken. If you got it, then hurry.
Oh, I see. No, I don't want that. How many people has it been dying from a freak accident?
Well, wait. Wait.
It's never my fault, but it's not a very happy thing either.
Isn't that right? It says something strange. A bad feeling goes up my spine. This guy was so annoying that I forgot. But that's right. This guy was a ghost. Wait just a second. Is this what you're saying? That is, that if I throw you out, I'll be punished or something?
Divine retribution, you mean?
The ghost tilted its head.
what, what the? What a change in attitude. Heh. Saying that, it slowly turned its view to the side. Okay. What is that? That meaningless laughter.
3 days from now, skewered by something. Thump!
You. Is that a threat? Damn, I'm not scared at all. I grabbed the horse with my left hand and shake its neck. As if it had suddenly turned into someone else, the horse just kept laughing dryly. So I lost. I pretended to be tough, but being very weak to occult things, it was impossible for me to resist anymore. In my mind, lamenting this crazy situation, I seriously started to think. I seriously started to think I'll run away to somewhere tomorrow. Yeah, but you don't. You don't though, do you? In the end, I accepted this crazy encumbrance. Of course, I don't plan on keeping it for long. It's because I decided to listen to what it had to say and to find its weakness, then to find a way to throw it away. Since even if I tell it to get out, it just pretends not to hear, there's currently nothing I can do. Thus, this isn't a defeat, but rather a strategic ceasefire. Uh-huh. Right. Then, if that's how it is, there's something I need to know first as the landlord. Hey, horse.
Arihiko-san, I'm not a horse, so I don't really like you calling me that. So if possible, please call me by my name.
I know. So teach me your name. You seem to know my name, but I don't know any ghosts. There's no way that I would know your name.
Now that you mention it.
Giving another crazy smile, the horse said its name was Seven. Seven, you say? Ha! Well, I didn't think it was Japanese, but it really wasn't Japanese. Well, this guy wasn't a human to begin with.
Arihiko-san? Don't you like my name?
The horse, Seven, looks at my face with a worried look. Since it regained its composure, I could look at its shape calmly. That's right, it doesn't fit. It slumps its shoulders. That behavior, even acknowledging that its hands and feet were strange, was not something you could attribute to a horse. Humph. That is, it's too human. So I don't like the name Seven. First of all, such a smart-sounding name doesn't belong to this airheaded ghost. Something a bit more unsophisticated and simplistic would be more fitting. You. Is Seven your original name?
Well, I've never been called anything different, so it probably is.
What is that? You don't even know your own name?
As I said, I can't remember.
Her memory's no good. Well, since it's a ghost, I guess it wouldn't have a name. But since the ghost itself can't remember its name, the conversation can't progress. But I can't call it Seven just because of that. Since it doesn't match up, it's Nanako. Okay, Nana meaning 7. What does the kanji for ko mean? Nanako meaning... Red apple
child. Interesting. Or... Oh, here's... Okay. One of the definitions is rainbow, a 7-colored arch-shaped phenomenon. I'm assuming that's what... I assume that's the meaning it's going for. Because seven arch, rainbow, that's... I'm assuming that's what it's going for. If I had to wager a guess.
What?
As I said, Nanako. I'll call you that, so remember it.
That's right. For ease, I decided to use Nanako as a pseudonym.
The horse? No.
Nanako stands there absent-mindedly.
What is it? If you don't like it, hurry up and tell me. If it's now, we can still change it.
If it's this guy, it's obvious it will say something like, I don't want such a senseless name.
Oh, it's embarrassing for some reason.
She reminds me of Arkwid in a weird way. I don't know why. She just gives me Arkwid vibes. It seems that Nanako is happy. To confess, her smiling face is quite cute. Even taking into account the pointy ears and the fingerless and toeless hands and feet, Nanako's quite good looking. Arihiko, do not the horse. Do not the horse. Should I leave it at that? To a healthy young man like me, not... Arihiko, Nanako's body is quite stimulating, buddy.
Alright, shall I test it out?
Arihiko? I get up from the floor mat.
What? Arihiko-san.
Do you happen to be thinking of something ridiculous? Maybe.
Not really.
I just plan to check how much like a human you really are. I slowly go towards Nanako.
Yeah! Arihiko-san, your eyes look so serious.
I circle around Nanako, who is slowly fleeing to a corner of the room. I mean, okay, so far though, he can still only touch her with his left hand, right? So it's not like he could actually do anything unless it's spread to the rest of him by now.
Arihiko-san, I'm a spirit. It would be best to not have such wicked thoughts.
Don't worry. Don't worry. It's all about gaining experience.
Well, you can, bruh. What is this man thinking? Well, it's definitely my first time with, I add. Yeah, Arihiko-san, as a master, you make me defend against too many things. Nanako waves her hand to shoo me away. I was saying it as a joke, but it looks like Nanako didn't get it. This is getting more and more entertaining.
What? The master's the owner, right? Unless you're saying you have a true
Owner besides me. Arihiko, no. I don't know anyone that evil.
Huh. Now it started to jump around on all fours. It looks like she's quite weak against this master of hers. In that case, does that mean if I find that person, I'll be able to get rid of her? Okay, based off what I saw in Melty Blood, I assume that master of hers is CL. Which I kind of wish I hadn't started arcade mode of Melty Blood before I did this, because that kind of ruined it for me, but yeah, I guess this works too. Well, anyway, let's continue what we were doing. I stretch out my left arm and grab Nanako's arm. A feeling of smoothness. Whoa, this guy is really first class. Arihiko, buddy. Just touching her skin gives me an electric feeling. What does she eat? I started this as a half joke, half threat, but if I'm not careful, it might become truthful. That's that. But if someone saw this, there might be a dangerous misunderstanding. Yo, Ichigo! Yeah, that's your cue! To bring home a girl in this strange attire, and to try to take... It looks just like... I knew it! I knew it! The trope was setting it up. Like, oh man, it would be so bad if someone saw what we were doing right now. Wink, wink. Hey. Arihiko, keep it down. Saying that, bam. With vigor, Nason slammed open the door. Ko seems to be a generally common ending of Japanese female names, but Nanako's name is written with just hiragana. Oh, okay. I thought it was a play on the fact that rainbows have 7 arches, and that was one of the definitions that came up, or one of the meanings at least. So I kind of thought that was, yeah, but I guess not. The older sister and younger brother stare at each other as if looking through one another. As if she understood my nervousness. Wait, what? Huh? It's Ichigo-kun? Please excuse me? Nanako said that, peacefully as usual. Okay, so they already met, I guess? Ichigo, this is a misunderstanding. I make sure to say that first. It's again a strange hobby. What is that tone? As if you've resigned yourself mean. Really, to think that a pervert would come out of our family. Nason, no! Nason closed the door and went down the stairs. Then, without even a bit of hesitation, there's the sound of the phone being picked up. Hello, please. Could you come here for a bit? Whoa, are you just gonna throw your younger brother to the wolves, you horrible sister? Panicking, I run to the hallway. But help me, I'm going to... Nanako urges on my sister with a shaking voice. You brat. Oh, you brat. You got some guts. Oh, wait, no, I think that was Arihiko talking. Yelling like that, I stole the phone from my sister, who was about to give out her address. For some reason, I feel like not just with one foot, but all the way to the neck, I've fallen into a quagmire. Because you probably have. Let's be real here. You're in a bit of a sitch. If a human goes through a traumatic experience at a young age, his spirit rots away. If there is a skeleton to personality, all of those bones get bent. If he doesn't go to a good bone-setting doctor, he grows up with the bones staying bent, and as a result ends up as someone like me. Well, in my case, they're bent so bad that I have no right to speak. When I first saw him, I could tell in a moment. He was broken. That, like me, he was a freaking kid who no longer feared anything. After the accident in which I lost my parents, I couldn't get into peaceful everyday life. I couldn't even enjoy being in the classroom without a single uneasy element. Arihiko's PSA, go to therapy, yeah. Well, yeah. This classroom is above a railway bridge, so if a sudden typhoon were to come, we'd be driven down into a gorge. Imagining things like that, I thought, well, it could happen. Unlikely, but it could happen, yeah. It's embarrassing to say, but I had pretended to mature early. Because I had experienced seeing death come without warning, I thought I understood what it was. It comes in random outbursts. With no rules, no order, it truly comes at us unfairly. It doesn't matter if you're a good or a bad person. Like how an unlucky man might trip over a stone, he might receive death. I thought I understood that irrationality since I was a child. No, really, I think I understood. That's why I recognized someone like me. In the classroom filled with naive children. That kid who was so broken that you'd think he should be isolated in a hospital. What kind of accident was that? It was definitely during elementary school when we had taken a class trip to some faraway place. We were in the mountains when it started raining, and it eventually started pouring, so the entire class fled into some shack. Everyone thought that it was just some regular rain at first, but the rain kept getting heavier and heavier, and the cliff behind the shack collapsed, and we were caught in a mudslide. Well, the shack was fine, and the cliff hadn't collapsed that badly. That's right. A few trees had penetrated the roof, and the door was unopenable due to mud, but that was about it. That's still pretty bad. Like, if you're stuck in there until someone comes to find you, like, that's... For children, that's still pretty terrifying. Okay. Still grouped inside the shack. We were so scared that we couldn't stand it. The ones who didn't cry were just him and me. And as if playing chicken with him, I pretended to be calm. Yes, that's how it was. I was merely used to it, but I hadn't actually accepted that death was irrational and could come at no fault of your own. I just knew the principle, but it's not that I had any answers. So in that situation, I could do nothing but quietly as possible, wait. That was probably the same with him. But if there was one thing that was different, it was that he was constantly looking out the window. I recall that before the mud unraveled, he kept looking outside and told the teacher that we should close the shutters. Okay, I'm pretty sure this isn't how his eyes work. But did he see... No, because he would have had his glasses on. Did he just, like, guess that something was gonna happen? Then when the mudslide came so hard that I thought the shack was going to turn over, I kept my eyes open in order to keep watching the scene in the end. At first, I think I was pretty calm. When I realized that the entire shack was drifting down, I didn't act surprised. And when a wall or a window started squeaking and cracking, I didn't panic. I even went to a corner where no one was, because I was annoyed at the crying of my classmates. It's a bit rude, but that was a mistake. Suddenly, with a bang, the roof broke. A broken branch stuck to the floor. It fell right in front of my nose, and so my whole mind went white. I was always ready for this kind of accident, but I had become unable to think or move. At that moment, let's go back to where everyone is. I think this place is dangerous. Suddenly, his face popped up behind the fallen branch. Aren't you scared at all? I tried to say. If he came from behind the branch, that means he was in this area as well. In this situation where one wrong step could mean death, he was unbelievably calm. We're not hurt. I guess we're lucky. Now, let's go somewhere safer. Let's go, he said, and started going to the center of the shack. So, what you're saying is Shiki was a overly cool, calm, collected little shit. From that, I understood a little. I had accepted the irrationality that humans could die at any moment. I had decided to live however I wished until then. However, this guy was subtly different. This guy could accept the irrationality of death, but still live with leisure. What an idiot. He's so strange that even I should say that. Maybe it's obvious that I got the feeling he was broken. This guy could be easily ready for death, and then on the next moment, move about as if nothing had happened. Thus, can I think anything but that something is wrong with his mind? No, honestly, I would probably think similarly to Arihiko here. Like, I would think, what the hell is wrong with this kid?
Arihiko-san, it's morning.
I hear a voice that doesn't even have a bit of tenseness.
Wake up, you're going to be late.
I get slapped in the face with a very hard hand.
This is bad. Ichigo-san requested me to supervise you well, so now it's time for me to really commit to it.
The slapping sounds change into some vague tapping sounds.
Yeah.
Oh, she's gonna jump on him.
Then I'm coming.
I feel something being swung. Wait, swung? That did not sound good. Ugh. At that moment, I get up as if shocked from a nightmare. On the pillow on which my head was resting until just a moment ago are Nanako's front legs. Nanako, if you missed your aim even a little bit, you could have crushed his skull. What are you doing, you brat?
Good morning, Arihiko-san.
Nanako greets me filled with energy. Yeah, you greet me with energy after almost killing me. Okay, cool. Maybe she has poisonous breath. No, from the beginning, whenever I talk with her, my head starts to hurt. It's not a good morning. How many times do I have to tell you not to get involved in my life? Okay, so what does Ichigo think of her then? Because obviously they had met each other before Arihiko had gotten home the previous day. But like, what did Nanako tell her to get approval to stay here?
Yes, I already know that. That's why I'm talking to you indirectly like this.
What?
Also, I think it's bad if you don't go to school. After all, Arihiko-san is a student.
I look at the clock. It's about 10 in the morning. At this time, there's no point in going to school. But if I can get away from her, it wouldn't be bad to go to school. I crawl out from under the blanket and change into my uniform.
Are you going out? Arihiko-san, you're becoming more and more like a human. It makes me happy.
You've only met us, you said yesterday. What do you mean? This ghost, who on her own whim latched onto a human, seems to have made it her goal to rehabilitate me. Won't someone teach me how to kill her? I'm going to school, so stay here. On the way home, I'll buy some carrots, so don't take stuff from the refrigerator by yourself.
Of course. You can count on me. And then have a nice day, Arihiko-san.
She's like a weird mix of Arkwid and Kohaku, I think. That's my feeling here. With a completely untrustworthy smile, this ghost lying in my room sent me off to school. She's totally gonna eat vegetables from the fridge. Now, after going outside, I look at the sky. It's a magnificently clear sky without a single cloud. I can't go to school on a day like this. Since I've got a lot of stress from Nanako these days, let's spend some time having fun in the city. Oh, this freedom I haven't felt in so long. I clench both my hands into fists and put my energy into them. These last few days, I spent all my time thinking about how to get rid of this ghost, so I couldn't play at all. Okay, so it's been more than just, a day. I think it would be best if from today on, I have some fun while pretending that she doesn't exist. Won't someone teach me how to get rid of her? Tono, who seems like he would be good at this occult type of stuff. It's best if it exists for people who have it, and it doesn't for people who don't. Says some meaningless stuff like that and doesn't give me any hope at all. Okay. So after inspecting this ghost by myself, there are two things I've discovered. First of all, it's that it can't survive outside my room. No, actually our house. I don't know the reason, but it seems that her movements are limited to just our house. Again, she's probably connected to whatever that thing you dragged in was. So it can't even go anywhere else, and it just stays in my room. And second, this ghost is definitely one of poor quality. I'll disappear if I'm just left alone. Please give me some nutrition. Saying things like that, this horse kept eating the Inui household's food, generally vegetables.
To be honest, I need a human's energy,
she complained, but I can't stand to give my energy to a ghost. For that reason, I'm holding back my tears and buying Nanako things to eat with my own money. You could just, let her starve. Ichigo just says, it's yours, so take care of it. And her acting just as an onlooker isn't any help at all. Again, how are neither of you more concerned over the fact that a spirit that is like kind of partially horse-like but mostly human is somehow appeared and is living in your house. Like, are neither of you, like, I know you seemed concerned at first, but for the most part you've been pretty chill overall. Like, I don't know how you So for these reasons, not only is my mental situation bad, but so is my financial situation. If I live like this for just one more week, I'll have no choice but to start working. If that happens, it'll get harder to go to school, so I might really have to stay back a year. This is frustrating. How did I get to concern myself over this stuff? Bad luck. Even extraordinary things need limits. The most absurd thing is my apathy from starting to get used to being around a ghost. Why did I give it a name? A little bit of regret. Maybe it's just a feeling I'm having, but since I gave it a name, it seems to be following my directions. It's really unlike me. I'm the type of person to do nothing, even if someone is starving to death in front of me if he has nothing to do with me. So how did I end up doing something to make it happy? I don't know. Really, I am truly regretting it. At first, I'd given it a name to annoy it. That was unsuccessful. I should have realized sooner that ironic things like that don't work on it. Oof, I shouldn't have called it Nanako. Damn it. I thought you couldn't leave the house!
Yes, what is it, Arihiko-san?
What I mean is, I was trying to annoy...
What do you mean by that?
I quickly retract my body. What is it people say as they stare? But I don't have time to care about things like that. Yeah, actually, you know what? Him being out with a girl dressed in what seems to be like a latex suit with like a... Yeah, he probably looks like... Oh, God. They probably look like fetishists. Nah. Shaking, I point at Nanako. Nanako is definitely there, but the people around me can't see anything. Oh, okay, no, they don't. Okay, interesting. No one has noticed this strange being that suddenly appeared on the street.
No, that's embarrassing, Arihiko-san. You're my temporary master, so please don't become a laughing stock.
Ugh. I grab Nanako with my left hand.
Ow! Arihiko-san, that hurts.
Ignoring those words, I run into a back alley. Punishment! Is he spanking her? What the hell?
Owie!
As soon as we were in the alley... Oh, he hit her head. Oh, okay. I guess that makes more sense. As soon as we were in the alleyway, I hit Nanako's head with my right hand.
Ow, what are you doing? Arihiko-san, please stop starting everything with violence.
Stop it, that's what I should say. As a ghost who appears during the day, and at somewhere crowded with people, don't say something that conceited. Realize a little that you are strange.
What? What's strange about me?
You have non-human ears, and you have supposedly hooves rather than hands and feet. At least I assume you don't have actual hands and feet inside those glove, arm sleeve things. Probably. Oomph. The ghost has a puzzled look. Ah. Really, this is exhausting. Alright, I got it. You really came here to annoy me, right? Lying around at home, you decided to ignore my orders to stay in my room and came here to give me a nervous breakdown. No. I think you said her name, and so it, like, summoned her. And the one who sent her must definitely be Tono.
Eh? I'm not that leisurely. Since Arihiko-san is the lowest of the low as a master, usually I wouldn't be your protector even if you asked.
Okay. Why is it that this thing always says a little more than it should? So is that right? Then hurry up and disappear. I'm not someone strange enough to receive protection from you.
I can't do that. Even though Arihiko-san's a temporary one, you are my master, so I have to successfully serve you. Okay. And also, since I can't get out of Arihiko-san's house, I can't disappear to anywhere.
Yeah, that.
Yes?
That's what I'm talking about. You can't come out of her house. So how did you come out to the street?
Well, that is... it's because as long as I'm near Arihiko-san, I can exist.
Oh.
It's definitely a sign that the bond of our blood is getting stronger.
Okay, so it was when he cut himself on whatever thing. That, okay. They made a contract.
We did it!
Nanako absent-mindedly yells, "Bonsai!" The bond of our blood? What is that?
To put it simply, it's a sort of partitioning of our spiritual energy.
Okay.
That's why Arihiko-san can now hit me with both hands.
With both hands?
It was only after I heard it that I realized.
I was grabbing Nanako with my left hand and hitting her head with my right. Ooh, It made me angry, so I let go.
Ah, you hurt me here.
Nanako coolly inspects my panicking form. What are you? So what you're saying is that you'll eventually become concrete?
Yes, but only to Arihiko-san.
Oh god. Maybe don't tell him that. Don't lie to me, you idiot. I always knew you weren't normal, but what exactly are you?
Ooh, maybe I'm a vengeful spirit haunting Arihiko-san.
This damn ghost looks at me with gloomy eyes. Goosebumps start forming up my back.
Ah, but I'm not at a level where I'm able to do something to Arihiko-san's life. Since the previous master tied me to a person, I don't need to take any energy from Arihiko-san. So if you value your life,
Please buy lots of delicious carrots for me. Aha. Nanako laughs starkly. But wait. I had an idea from before, but she... Nanako. You know what you are, right? See? Her sincere face has come back. As I thought. When you come to your senses, even though it's true that you were in my room, you still know what you are. You aren't some vengeful spirit that's haunting me. Now how about you tell me what you really are?
regrettably, that's a secret. I'm sorry, but since Arihiko-san's not an official master, I can't tell you.
Alright, that's good then. Then get out of here. As long as you're not an evil spirit, I don't have to worry about retribution. More importantly, you have a master other than me, right?
How? How do you know that, Arihiko-san?
You just said that. you literally just like told us basically. Actually, it was just a guess, but I didn't realize that she'd respond in such an obvious way. Then it's decided. Hey, if you have an owner, just go back to that person. If you tell me the location, I'll even carry that damned heavy mass of scrap metal.
Arihiko-san, you knew.
Intelligence-wise, they deserve each other. Yeah, neither of them are very bright. It's obvious. When a ghost suddenly appears, what reason other than that could there be?
I see. I was underestimating Arihiko-san's intelligence. Ha.
Nanako says and slumps her shoulders in resignation.
Was she really planning on staying at my house by threatening me?
It's decided. Now, just tell me where this master of yours is. You as well. You'll be more comfortable there than being with a normal person like me. I grab her hand. Then...
I don't want to! I don't want to go back to someone so terrifying!
With that, she started to throw a tantrum like a little child.
I'm begging you, please let me stay with Arihiko-san. If I go back to my master, I can't even guess how I'll be remodeled.
Remodeled? Nanako flails around.
That does sound... terrifying.
Seeing her tail move about wildly, it looks like she's really panicked. That's that, and... remodeled. I don't understand what that means. Wait, what do you mean you'll be remodeled?
Yes, my new master is a terrifying person. With the attitude of a starving wolf, she forcibly tears away my skin and dips it in blood, and saying, "I'll make you cool later." What? She even did this.
Nanako points at her forehead with her finger. There was something that had caught my attention before. A part that was dug up like a tattoo. Oh? I was wondering what that was.
That's right. My master even forcibly pressed this branding on my forehead on me, saying that it felt more industrial. To add hand protectors onto a book filled with history. What was that person thinking? I formed contracts with many masters, but that was the first time I saw someone so outrageously brutal and with such an unbalanced diet.
Yeah, definitely CL.
So please let me stay at Arihiko-san's house.
Wow, Nanako falls down and cries. As if somewhat mortified, she's hitting the ground. Because of the horseshoes, the sound was very pleasant. I see. You must have gone through a lot of trouble.
Isn't that right?
Wow, you're so sweet, Arihiko-san. Oh, now she's trying to butter him up. Okay.
Now I'm free from those days when I could be remodeled at any moment.
Oh? So where does that person live? He's like, don't care. Fucking, you're going back.
Huh? I don't want to tell. What would Arihiko-san do with that kind of knowledge anyway?
What do you mean, what? I have to know the address to deliver the goods. He's like, I don't give a fuck about your issues. I just want you gone. We stare at each other for a moment. Ah, it's crying.
I see. That's how it is. I'm too much of a mystery to Arihiko-san, and my existence isn't beyond that of a dignitary. Yes, it was foolish of me to expect recognition from a human. It's alright. Instead, please send me back down the river. Then I was impressed, thinking what a kind person this is.
Nanako mutters. It seems that when her emotions pass a certain threshold, her personality becomes limitless. You sure are a gloomy one. As a ghost, don't begrudge me.
Yes, because I'm a ghost, it's obvious I would hold a grudge.
Oh? That's a good point. Saying that, I turn my back to it. I'm also, I didn't say anything before, but they're in the murder alley. So, that's mildly concerning. Well, then it can't be helped. I don't know how long it will last, but this is a battle of patience. Huh? I'm going to take a walk, so keep watch of the house. Our house is always empty, so if we have a guard dog, it might be helpful.
She's not a dog either.
Alright, I say and exit the back alley. Behind my back is the joyful sound of bonsai. I don't know how many times I've sighed. Still, I don't think it'll be too long. If her story is true, that master of hers will be looking for her as well, so when the day comes, I can just return her. If I try to get rid of her now, she might get angry, which makes me scared. Plus, whatever. If I brought it home, I have to take responsibility for it. That's my belief. It's a good way of thinking about it. Oh, not even a date number, just slash? Okay. What? What? Arihiko, you came out today? I've come. Although class was so boring, I was hanging out in the cafeterias this morning. What is it that you keep... whoops. What is it that you keep doing these days? Yesterday, you just played basketball all day at the gym. Come to school, but not attending class. Something smells fishy. You've got a strange sense of smell. It's just that I don't like staying at home. In the afternoon, I come just for the attendance. Alright, then I'm off for now. Tono, are you scared of ghosts? What's this all of a sudden? Are you seriously asking me that? Yeah, everything I ask is serious. Alright, then I'll answer you. But which is it? Am I scared of becoming a ghost, or do I dislike the idea of becoming a ghost? Depending on which it is, the answer can change. What are you talking about? What I mean is, am I scared of a dead person coming back as a ghost? Or do I not want to meet a dead person? Which is it? As expected. You can sometimes be so strangely sharp that it's scary. What is that? You were talking about whether ghosts were scary. Why are you suddenly bringing up talk about me? No, that is, thanks to your question, I solved a riddle that was bugging me for a while. Definitely that's scary. I wouldn't want to meet someone who had died. Is that why you don't like ghosts, Arihiko? Something like that. But what about you, Tono? Are you scared of someone who died coming back to life? Sure. I might have become accustomed to zombies, but if it's unpleasant, it's unpleasant. I mean, I guess the... Okay, is he referring to, like, the... What are they called? The undead that aren't vampires, but they're fully under control of their, like, parent? I forget what they're called. Is he referring to those as zombies? Or is he referring to vampires in general as zombies? Yeah, the ghouls or whatever they were. Shiki gets a little cute succubus familiar as a cat. Arihiko gets a horse girl ghost for a guard dog. They make quite the pair. I got hair in my mouth. I had to get a haircut. Sure, I might have become accustomed to zombies, but if it's unpleasant, it's unpleasant. Of course, there are some people I would like to meet if I could, so maybe I'm just arbitrary. People you would like to meet? Like Buddha? Usually, if the person's alive, it's not called a ghost, but rather a wraith. But what is it, Arihiko? Do you believe in ghosts? Well, whether or not Nanako's actually a ghost or a magically... No, wait, I don't know, actually. Weren't you uncertain about all this occult stuff? I mean, I guess it kind of was confirmed already that she is a ghost of some kind, I guess, but yeah, whatever. Recently some things happened, and I decided to try believing. Although, whatever, even that's over. Over? You mean this ghost talk? To be honest, I thought maybe if ghosts really existed, I could meet some people I wanted to. But I realized that I was worried about, that what I was worried about was truth itself. So what are you saying? That just like until now, I won't acknowledge things like ghosts? Okay, that conversation got really weird at the end. I don't know if that was the translation or what, but that convo at the end felt really weird. Oh god. Elementary school, 5th or 6th grade. About then was when it took place. At our school, we had a thing called an exercise break. Between 2nd and 3rd period, all students came out to the yard to run around to the beat of music. It was a fun little event. That day, I had come outside to run as usual, when suddenly, while walking in front of me, he collapsed. Idiot, did you trip over a rock? I went over to him to make fun of him. But then I was shocked, because sitting down on the ground with nothing around him, he was suffering as if he were about to die. Yeah, that's the anemia. He was brought to the hospital. Then the next day, he came back to school as if nothing had happened. When I paid more attention, I realized that these events happened pretty often. I asked the teacher because I thought it was strange, and saying, since Inui is friends with Tono, she told me something she wouldn't tell the other students. That kid has some strange disease we don't know, and it seems every once in a while, his arms stop moving or his heart stops beating. With such a young mind, I don't know how much of it I understood. I just understood that it wouldn't be strange for him to die at any moment. Yeah.
I definitely thought that
It was just like how if you were walking on a very high bridge and your legs stopped responding, you would die. Yeah, I suppose you would. With this opportunity, I truly thought that I would have to fight this guy. I knew that on his way home he passed by the riverbank, so setting it up was simple. A surprise attack from hiding at the riverbank. He fell down with a punch. Then, after making a confused expression due to the meaningless violence, he made a ferocious smile while attacking me. Then, well, we just hit and were hit by each other. Oh god. After that idiocy ended, he said, "You always do whatever you feel like." At that I said, "Yeah," and proudly nodded. Since humans don't know when they're going to die, it's a waste to not live happily. To me or to him anyway. To me or to him anyway, to someone. I answered as if giving instructions. He made a blank face, then just laughed as if he was happy. His face might have been filled with bruises, but he had a good expression. That must definitely have been a smile coming from within his heart. Then I felt something. I decided to be friends with him for the rest of my life. When I think about it, it's just a stupid story from when I was a kid. But you got a lifelong friend from it, so I wouldn't call that stupid. On the morning of a day off, I grabbed my blank head and went out to the kitchen. Grabbed my blank head? What? Today, the plan was definitely for Tono to come over to play some games. He said, a maid in the new house is scarily good at games, and I'd like to try winning just once, so give me some training. Just what is that guy doing? Anyway, I'm hungry, so I opened the refrigerator to get some food. Ugh. My mind goes white. My drowsiness immediately went away. She ate the food. The reason would be that the refrigerator is completely empty. That damned brat! I kick the refrigerator and leave the kitchen behind. Nanako, you ate everything in the fridge again, didn't you? I poke the horse that's sleeping inside the closet.
Ha! What is it? An earthquake?
Nanako holds her head where it was hit and raises her face. See, she claims that she has the ambition to rehabilitate others, but if you leave her alone, she just sleeps all morning. She's the one who needs rehabilitation. Hey, how long are you planning on sleeping? I told you I have a guest today, so hurry up and go into Ichigo's room.
What? Ah, Arihiko-san. You sure are working hard in the morning.
It seems that she's not quite awake as she quietly greets me, then tries to go back to sleep. You lazy bum! Get out right now! I grab Nanako's ear and pull her out of the closet.
Ah, it hurts. Arihiko-san, please don't pull on my ear. If it stretches out anymore, I'll end up just like Dumbo.
Wait, how do you know what Dumbo... Why does a potentially horse girl spirit know who Dumbo is?
You know what? I'll just not question that.
That would be good. Since you've come here, you've done nothing but eat. So you should at least be able to fly to make it even.
Fly? I can do that.
I know. Your body and your mind are always floaty.
Wow, another insult. That makes it the 282nd time Arihiko-san has hurt my feelings. Oh.
Is that right? Jeez, you sure remember useless things. Since you're blue, pull out one or two useful tools once in a while. Being only a burden to the owner, what kind of ghost are you?
What? Blue? Useful tools?
I guess Nanako doesn't know that world-famous machine. Well, it doesn't matter. It's nothing. Anyway, hurry up and go to Ichigo's room. I'm having a guest over later.
Ah, Ichigo-san's room. The stench of cigarettes is too strong there, so I'll eat in the kitchen.
No.
When the guest comes, I'll hide myself, so it's okay.
You're acting like you're obeying, but really, you don't have any intention of listening to me, right? Maybe someone among her previous masters watched Dumbo? Maybe. I just it was really interesting. I just thought it was interesting she happened to know that. I don't know.
What? No, that's not true. Just if you compare what Arihiko-san says and my abilities, there's such a great difference in ranking.
Ho-ho. Why don't you explain that ranking some? The doorbell rang just then. Oh, is this the scene we saw in the main story, but from Arihiko's perspective? It kind of seems like it could be. Ah, you see her. Forget that. Just get out of here. You got it? Don't show your face in front of the guest.
Alright. I'm just a girl of the shadows anyway. My fortune is to do whatever Arihiko-san wishes. Hoo-hoo.
You. If you wish, I can take you to the dumpster right now.
Wow, talk about short-tempered. Arihiko-san, you won't be very popular with girls if you're like that.
Good.
Whoa!
I push her into the closet with the door and block it with a dresser. Yeah, this is totally the scene from the main story. Cause we come into Arihiko's room as Shiki, and Shiki's like, "Why the hell do you have a dresser in front of your closet?" And Shiki swears up and down he hears noises. Clatter, clatter. The sound of jumping about. As a ghost, Nanako doesn't like getting locked up. The doorbell rings a second time. Wait just a sec. If I keep responding to Nanako, it'll be sunset by the time I'm done. It's a little harsh, but I decided to keep her trapped like this. They've both got it rough. From each other. In the afternoon, Tono went back home. Oh, so it skipped over, okay. I mean, I guess it makes sense, because Arihiko wasn't in the room when Shiki sees her, I think, if I remember correctly. With this I can win, he was saying while going home with a joyful face. But he'll probably come back tomorrow while crying. Then, I moved the dresser and opened the closet door. Oh wait, no, that hasn't... Wait. Nanako comes out with a face stained with tears. I expected her to complain like usual, but for some reason she seems different. What is it? Did a mouse bite your ear or something? No response. Nanako looks up at me and...
That person. He's like my master.
She could tell, huh? Said this random thing. That guy just now is similar to your master? What does that mean? Are you saying that your real master is about the same age as him?
No. Physically, they're completely different. Yes, since my masters have all been female. Arihiko-san is the first male. Although it's only temporary, Nanako adds. That person just now had an air about him that was similar. That person is someone very scary.
Hmm? Then again, he is sort of scary. So what exactly do you find about him that's similar?
They're the same in that they've both died.
The ghost spoke bluntly. I mean, she's not wrong. They're the same in that they've both died. This is another magnificent leap in thought. Well, nodding while thinking this sure is... I know it's just another word for strange, but I was not expecting that. I found that Nanako was staring at me. What is it? You look like you want to say something.
Huh. I thought that both Ichigo-san and Arihiko-san were quite philosophical, but I didn't expect this much. Arihiko-san, you're pretty astute, aren't you? Even then, don't you find that person scary?
What are you saying? Are you saying that if you're astute, you should find him scary?
Yes. He doesn't seem like a bad person, but he's someone who shouldn't exist. Someone like that can't be mixed in with regular people, and he'll cause trouble for those near him.
I mean, I guess she's not wrong. I mean, nothing has went wrong because of him. Just things happen to go wrong around him. Not quite the same.
So someone as astute as Arihiko-san should know that it's dangerous to be with someone like that.
Dangerous, huh? Are you saying I'll be sucked into something annoying? Nanako doesn't answer. For some reason, I know what she wants to say. Accepting that for now, as a kid, Tono was definitely dangerous. Tono himself had no problems, but the kids sitting near him asked to have their seats changed without exception. That's because with the child's mind, they were afraid of the tension surrounding him. To put it into words, some of the kids sitting next to him might have said, "I don't get the feeling that he's alive." Growing up, that disappeared, but as a kid, he had given off a feeling of danger for no reason. All the way through elementary school, just him being in the classroom spread about a strange feeling of tension. It wasn't about Tono, but about oneself. Maybe it was because Tono was someone who might die at any moment, but looking at Tono made one feel as if death was very near. Gee, I wonder why. To children who never once thought about life and death, Tono, who made them feel true death, must have looked scary. Well, the only people who clearly understood it were myself and a girl named Imazuka. A normal person isn't fit for him. It's true, when I'm around him, I feel like it feels like I might die by some freak accident. Oh, the way that was Arihiko talking. I thought he was remembering a quote from Yumizuka that he overheard, maybe. But no, that was Arihiko.
Yes. Furthermore, people like that only pull in others who've noticed that fact. Arihiko-san, if you're around that person, you really might die in some freakish fashion. For example, maybe while walking home drunk, you might fall down an open manhole and die. That's a lovely thought.
You have quite the imagination. That's definitely an absurd accident that might or might not happen. But an accident like that can happen anyway. I don't care about such things. Since I'm alive, when it's time to die, I'll die.
Arihiko-san doesn't seem to fear dying. Why is that?
Nanako genuinely questions me for the first time in a while. Actually, no. This is the first time she's genuinely asked me something. The reason I don't fear dying? Maybe it's because as a kid I went through an experience that nothing could be scarier than. I'll say it now, but it's not some ghost story.
What? You went through something so scary that you wouldn't even fear death?
Nanako is shocked and enters into deep thought. As if thinking of something, she claps her hands and raises her face.
You must have been kidnapped when you were young. The kidnapper was someone as strange as my master, so he threatened young Arihiko-san in many different ways, and that was as scary as a trial for heathenism?
Not quite. Oh, not quite, but it's close.
Wow, that's so sad. Due to that violence, Arihiko-san's nature was all twisted, and that's why you have such a brutal personality now. Yeah.
Wah wah, Nanako cries. I'll say it now, but she's definitely not crying from sympathizing with me.
But to become unafraid of death because of that, I don't think that's right. Arihiko-san, when you were kidnapped, was your family unable to pay the ransom? And so you were almost killed?
No, that's not... that's not right either, but it's close. The situations are quite similar.
Oh?
God, bro, my throat is dying. I hope that is this almost over? Because like my vocal cords and throat are actually trying to fail on me.
You keep saying that it's not right, but close, so it's hard to tell.
Hang on.
So it's hard to tell. Can't you tell me simply like Arihiko-san usually does?
Did she say that I was simple? I'll have to settle this with her, but really, saying that I'm simple isn't wrong either. Well, to put it bluntly, I wasn't kidnapped. I was just involved in an accident.
You were just involved in an accident?
That's right. Before, we used to live in a high-class apartment building, but for some reason it collapsed. The entire roof collapsed all at once and it was flattened. But thankfully and luckily, the wreckage made a triangle, and I survived by being stuck in it. It was before we moved into this house. Fortunately, my older sister was at school, and only my parents, grandmother, and I were at home. Suddenly, there was a loud rumbling sound. After the floor shook a little, the roof and everything else collapsed, and so without even knowing what was going on, I was crushed by wreckage. Well, as I said before, I survived by getting stuck between the wreckage, but the crack was dangerous. Squeaking, they seemed like it was about to collapse too. It was like supporting a desk with matchsticks, and my young mind thought it couldn't last even 1 minute. Plus, it was dark all around, and even though there was enough of a crack to breathe, I didn't want to stay there for even 1 more second.
Wow, that must have been scary. Arihiko-san, how long did you have to wait?
I couldn't tell, but they said it was 3 days.
3 days?
Jeez. I was saved by a rescue team, but I was the only survivor among the third-floor residents.
3 days. Arihiko-san, you had to be so patient for so long. Didn't you scream or squirm at all?
Idiot. If I did that, I'd be dead. For 3 days I did nothing. I just stared straight ahead.
Wow. I'm really impressed by you, Arihiko-san. Steel heart?
No. It's not that I had a lot of patience. When I think about it, I don't know if it was lucky or unlucky. In front of me, my grandmother had fallen down. Oh god. I can already tell where this is going. That's right, she had fallen. Lying prone like I, only her upper half was visible. But unlike me, where her bottom half should have been was a steel beam.
Yeah, no, I can see how that would fuck a kid up.
I didn't know the situation.
Oh, she was alive for a minute or two after that?
Once she realized that I was in front of her, my grandmother painfully reached out at me. Then, she coughed and threw up blood. Not just blood, but she threw up other things too. Breathing heavily, it was actually amazing that she was still alive. And I realized at that moment that in just a few moments, if this miraculous space between the wreckage should collapse, I'll become just like my grandmother. When I thought that, I wanted to scream and I wanted to run away. But my grandmother was in front of me. Her chin was covered in red, and as if saying, "Help me, it hurts," she was stretching out her arm. It seemed that she couldn't even talk anymore, just panting. She was looking at me with bloodshot eyes. Dude, oh my god.
I have to hop off soon. If this goes on much longer, I have to...
Hang on. That wasn't the grandmother I knew. It was just that because she didn't want to die, because it hurt, she was a creature jealous of me, the only one unharmed. I was so scared of that all I could do was stare. I couldn't possibly scream. If she knew that I was alive, grandmother would definitely make me her companion. So I didn't even make a sound or move. I stared at my grandmother, who was looking at me full of resentment and with eyes saying, "Save me! Why aren't you helping me?" and prayed that she would die even 1 second sooner. God, that is fucked up. I was scared that I might die, and I was scared that such a creature was before me. Then when I thought I didn't even know the creature in front of me, I heard the sound of a cough. My grandmother started to have a severe coughing fit. I thought that was dangerous. If you create a tremor, everything starts to creak. If everything starts creaking, the wreckage will collapse. Then my grandmother, raising her head to look at me with her bloodshot eyes, said, "I'm sorry," and bit her tongue. That is just a absolutely fucked situation to have to watch as what, he was 9, probably. I assume that incident happened before the 10-year-old, declaring Tono his rival, so I assume probably 9. That is actually fucking horrifying. That moment, for no reason, tears flowed down my cheeks. Looking at myself who was crying for no reason, and my grandmother who could no longer even keep panting, I realized it. My grandmother was my grandmother. She had raised her hand not to ask for help. My grandmother only wanted to help me. Realizing that that was impossible, and also realizing that if she moved, I would die as well, my grandmother decided to not do anything. What I was thinking then, my grandmother knew as well. That's why she said that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I made you think such thoughts. I'm sorry I made you scared. I'm sorry I couldn't help you. And so, thinking that she might cause harm by her uncontrollable coughing, even though she couldn't even breathe right, she finally apologized to me, and then bit her tongue. Of course, at that moment, I didn't have the chance to think of something like that. I had become a statue, so without even knowing the meaning of my tears, was staring at my grandmother's body. I was rescued. I've never experienced a terror that surpassed that time. And I realized that death wasn't as ugly a thing as everyone thought. Everyone dies at some point. Me too. I'll definitely die sometime. That's what that story is. It's just a trivial little tale about how I learned what I should do when I die. Well, that's what happened. Since I saw someone die before my eyes, I'm a little more reflective than most people. And also, since I've decided on what I have to do when I die, maybe I feel prepared for it.
Huh. Arihiko-san, you've decided on what to do when you die?
Since I've caused such a nuisance to everybody, at my last moment, I should at least lower my head. If I leave a regret in this world, I'll become a ghost.
I see. Since I've already died, I don't have anything like that.
That's right, you are a ghost. Wait, did you say you didn't have any regrets?
Yes. I didn't die while leaving behind a regret. I'm not wicked like Arihiko-san.
Yeah, okay. The damned ghost speaks bluntly. What of it? Then let me ask you. If you died without any regrets or wants, why did you become a ghost?
As I said, I'm not a ghost, but rather a familiar. I'm not a being who remained in this world to fulfill a grudge.
That again. So what's a familiar?
You really want to know? I guess I can't help it. Alright, it's originally supposed to be a secret, but since Arihiko-san told me a personal story about his past, I'll tell you about my origin.
Alright.
Hehe.
Nanako laughs ominously. For some reason, I get the feeling that the conversation will go towards something occult.
Yeah, probably. It's already been about 1,000 years since I became like this. Among familiars, there are those of nature and those of animals, and among them there are those who naturally and those who unnaturally got turned into protective familiars. And I'm the latter kind of protective familiar. So whether from nature or from animals, a familiar of some type is combined with the spirit of a human to put them on the side of humans.
Okay.
Also, there are ranks among the nature familiars and protective familiars, and there are even amazing people who have attached themselves to sacred grounds as protective familiars.
As I thought. You just had to immediately bring up this talk that I can't follow. Stop it, stop. I don't want to listen to things like that.
I can't do that. If you stop me, I'll curse you, Arihiko-san.
Ugh. Don't say such unsettling things.
Or I'll just kick you. Like this.
Make up some stars. Ugh.
Huh? If you stand in line with me, you'll get hit.
Yeah, like you totally didn't do that on purpose. Okay. I'm already hit. And a hit right on target. Due to the amazing force, I feel dizzy. Or,
Then I'll continue the story.
hang on.
I was originally a human, just like Arihiko-san. I was born in a town with a beautiful forest and lake, and people said that I was the most beautiful in our town, but regrettably our family was poor. I guess the heavens don't give you everything.
That brat. Taking the opportunity when I can't move, she decided to continue talking by herself.
At that time, a unicorn that lived in the forest died. It was a divine animal spirit who granted people's wishes. Part of its corpse, the horn, had turned into a nature spirit, but some people who came from the church said that they were going to turn it into a holy scripture for themselves. However, a nature spirit originally belongs in nature, so it refused to join humans.
Alright, God.
So a spirit with the same values as their own, in other words, the human, was offered and combined with the nature spirit. The spirit of the human was of a much lower rank than the nature spirit and was thus absorbed in, but as a result it acquired knowledge as a human, and gradually acquired a human's values. So now, do you understand? What Arihiko-san calls Nanako was originally the girl who was offered as that human spirit.
I see.
The origin of the nature spirit was the unicorn, and that's why I ended up half spirit, half human like this.
Makes sense. Oh. My nausea is finally starting to go away. Okay, so she's not a horse. She's a unicorn. Got it.
That's why I'm still around, even without having a regret. Really, to gain control of myself took a few hundred years, and to gain a body like this took another few hundred.
So in another few hundred, will you lose the ears and hooves and be like all human, or are you like permanently horsified, or sorry, unicornified?
As a result, even though it took a 1,000 years, I came out like this.
Nanako laughs bashfully. Saying that, hey you, what kind of joke are you trying to pull? Yes, unlike myself, I confronted her.
What? I didn't tell any lie.
That's a lie. You said you were a human offering. A human offering is a sacrifice. To put it simply, you were killed for the purpose of strangers.
That's a misunderstanding. I offered my body by myself. There wasn't much I could do while alive anyway, and I thought doing this would make me happier.
Were your parents not concerned over this decision? Okay. My internet is starting to really go downhill. Oh god, I need to finish this though. Fuck. Okay, I'll just keep going and hopefully...
Plus, you know, my funeral was amazing. I was already dead by then, so I was the spirit of Unicorn-san, but it really was amazing. It was such a clear day that day, and from the entrance of the town to the top of the tower, everything was covered in white flowers. Townspeople who I hadn't even talked to participated in the funeral, and several bishops came to send me off. Yes, that was so beautiful. I thought for the first time that I had led a good life and I was overjoyed. So I don't have any regrets, she said.
Yeah, the last, like... I think it's because my sister got home. And my sister streams, like, Hulu and Netflix and whatnot. Like, as soon as she gets home. So, the last 30 minutes or so, where I get the occasional frame drops, has probably been that. So yeah, hopefully I can finish this soon. Well, if she says that, that's how it is. That's why I don't usually like going this late. I thought, because everyone, like 2 or 3 people told me the Akiha one was the longest one, but this one's already going 2 hours. Well, if she says that, that's how it is.
But after that, there were some regrettable things. It was about my mother. My father had been exiled, so after that, she didn't have the money to keep going. My mother made up her mind and left me with the bishop, and thanks to that, she received a lot of money. But it was strange. After my funeral, my mother became weaker and weaker, and even though she could buy whatever she wanted, she stayed inside her home and just kept saying, "I'm sorry."
Yeah, because she felt bad about selling you. I guess.
I stood next to her many times and told her thank you, I was happy, but my mother never heard me. That was it. Even though my mother received enough money to live comfortably for a long time, in the end, she became even weaker than before and passed away. That made me very sad. I was so sad that I closed off my mind and melted into Unicorn-san, and I kept obeying the people who were using me. Well, until that devil of a master appeared, and so this happened. Hee hee.
She laughs at herself as usual. Wait, so you were just Unicorn-san for like 999 years? Or I guess, 1,000 years. Huh. She laughs at herself as usual. Indeed, it seems that she has problems of her own. I don't know how the conversation came to this point, but I don't think it was a waste of time. Maybe it's something about me, but I'm weak against people like her. She's so thoroughly flexible that she's a huge idiot who can say thank you even after she's dead. For things to be balanced, someone as gullible as she is shouldn't be beside someone who fools others like me, but rather should be with someone who has no intention to fool others. Nanako, even though you say that, you must go through a lot of pain.
I can't even say it. Really, I was such a pure and chaste book. Then in less than half a year, I'm like this. Really, I got a really unbelievable master. Until now, I had never made a form for myself. But since my master did such unspeakable things, I'm appearing like this and complaining.
Do you hate your owner that much? For example, enough to kill that person?
That's ridiculous. First of all, that person doesn't even die when killed.
Well, assuming this is post Roa, then technically you could kill her, but
Yeah, respectable. Whatever.
is that right? I thought if you wanted to end things with that person, that would be the easiest way.
End things with what?
Don't you want to end things with that person? You said your owner was a devil of a master.
That's true, but... Well, I don't like seeing hitting or cutting or blood. But, shall I say, it can't be helped. Master has reasons to be desperate. So I could stand it if I was used with more care.
Oh, you're quite defensive of your owner. Even though you ran away.
That's true, but how should I say? I can't leave that person alone. It would be difficult alone, so I have to be a protector. And this person is so amazing as to make me materialize. Plus, that master was the first one to speak with me.
Nanako mutters. Huh. I guess I was quite stupid there too. But yet she's like branding you and...
Okay.
Even if I don't worry about her, her life already has balance. Hey, you know?
Ah, yes. What is it, Arihiko-san?
Aren't you saying that you actually like your master? That's right, that's why you ran away and are complaining, isn't it?
That's not it. I hate that master, and this time I'm really running away to become a proper book.
Shaking, Nanako disagrees. Well, I got the feeling that this problem would solve itself sooner than I expected. Yeah, probably. She doesn't really hate Sia. There's another day. There's another... Okay, I'm gonna end it, or maybe this is the end. Hang on. It ended as abruptly as an urgently shipped express package. Huh? The doorbell rang. The time was 6 o'clock in the morning. I would have ignored it if I hadn't stayed up all night and come home in the morning. What the? Who is this? It's Senpai. Yes, who is it? I opened the front door. Then there. Nice disguise. I dig the... executioner chic, I guess. Standing there is someone who, for some reason, I feel like I've seen before. Oh my god. Hang on. Sorry, I tried to reply to something because they wouldn't stop messaging me until I did. I don't remember this very well, but I think it should be less than 5-10 minutes-ish. Okay. Standing there is someone who, for some reason, I feel like I've seen before.
This is the Inui house, right?
That's right. What is it?
Please excuse me, but I'm here to pick up something called...
You mean... I couldn't quite understand. But for some reason, I understood that she was talking about that. Does that mean that this person is her master?
What is it?
Nothing. Wait just a second, I'll bring it down. If it doesn't want to, I'll do it forcibly with a leash tied around its neck.
I'm very grateful. Please do that.
Alright, then please wait here. Is Ciel not gonna question the whole leash tied around its neck thing? Like, is she not surprised that Arihiko has, like, met, like, the spirit within whatever the hell he dragged in was? I close the door and run up to my room. Then, hey, there's someone here to get you, you stupid horse. I forcibly opened the closet door. Then, there was a quivering ghost in the closet. What, are you ready already?
Wah, wah! As I thought, it's the amazingly black master.
Nanako shakes. Ignoring that, I took out that piece of junk from the deepest part of the closet.
Whoa! What are you doing, Arihiko-san? You'll get hurt picking that up.
I ignore the panicking Nanako and pull it out. In the end, this was the cause of everything. The hunk of metal that was flowing down the river on that rainy day. A strange weapon with a barrel and a trigger, and even a bayonet attached. It's Nanako's main body. Oh, there's some blood on it. Maybe it fell from my wound when I was first getting it. I cleaned the blood off. Oh, and did he? That's gonna break the connection.
Uh-huh.
Nanako screams. What? Oh. But now I can't see her or hear her voice. So that was the connection between her and me.
That was an anticlimactic way of that happening.
Alright. Even if I found it, if there's an owner, I have to return it. I might have picked it up, but I was only holding it for a while. I can think of it as a rental. While I was borrowing it, well, at least it wasn't boring. I guess.
Thank you for your cooperation. But about this gun.
Huh? What are you saying? I just picked up a model gun, and you're calling it this gun. Sis, you sure are a kidder. He's like, I know, I get the picture. Don't talk about whatever the hell this is. I get it. That person who resembled someone swallows her words, nods lightly, and leaves. Ciel definitely knows from what he said before that he's definitely just playing along like, yep, no, I know nothing about this shit. Like, and she's like, yeah, okay, buddy. Wink. Uh-huh. The black uniform gets farther and farther away. In her hands is one truly ugly-looking gun. The person in the uniform mutters to the gun as if talking to herself. Like that. Oh, wait, we saw one last glimpse? I don't know why, but it looked to me like it was saying goodbye. How pitiful. Will she be alright like that?
Looking at her situation, I think she'll probably run away again and cause a nuisance for someone. But that's something that doesn't concern me anymore. Does it count as a rental if the costs were in maintenance food rather than money to the owner? Yeah, I guess so. He was keeping it... spending money on its upkeep, I suppose. So I guess that counts, sort of. I scratched my head while grabbing the front door. So I guess I won't be able to have any horse meat for now. Yeah, I guess not. Muttering to myself, I was shocked at my own stupidity. That's not right. You usually don't eat horse meat anyway, do you? Okay, this is a weird line. Because I know for a fact there are places in Japan that you can get horse meat sushi. Or sashimi, that is. So I don't know what this is referring to. In that you usually don't eat horse meat, because like I mean, as like I guess a common dish, sure, probably not, but it's not unheard of. Okay, that's it. I'll just skip through that. There we go. Today's horoscope, smile wide. Okay, so man. I feel bad for Arihiko. That's actually really fucking sad. Like he would just watch his grandmother suffering in front of him, and she actually was just trying to like console him, but he completely misunderstood. That was actually fucked up. We learned about Nanako, who, okay, I imagine she was also probably gonna play more of a role in Tsukihime 2, which never ended up happening. Because why would they give us that whole thing if they didn't have plans for her? You know what I mean? So I imagine she was meant to have a role in the second game that never ended up happening. Which is unfortunate. Like, because without, I don't know, it just feels out of place to have that because she's completely confined to this game. Aside from seeing, you know, a glimpse of her with CL in Melty Blood, like when you go into a CL fight. But other than that, again, as far as I know, maybe in the arcade mode of Actress again or whatever, maybe you'll see her. I don't know, but otherwise, yeah, it just felt really out of place, kind of. Like it was good to learn about the weird horse girl we saw in the main story, and you know, I got to learn about Arihiko, but it just felt very like a very strange addition. But like I said, I think it's gonna do it. Because my internet's dropped 2.4% of my frames in the last 30 minutes. So I'm gonna go, and yeah, I think